Welcome to the Philippine-Japan Historical Museum. My name is Ivy and I will be your tour guide for today. So about this museum, this was established in the year 1994. It was established for the present and future generations to understand the history and to learn about the different stories of the Filipinos, Japanese, and Nikkei Jinns who lived, survived, and died during and after the war. So now, let's go inside. So this section is the dedication. So the museum was also dedicated to the IMIN or the Japanese migrants who came and lived here in the Philippines. IMIN will also serve as the depository of the Filipino-Japanese history, and it will also help preserve the legacy and memoirs of the Japanese migration in the Philippines that gave birth to the Filipino Nikkei Society. So here is the history section. This museum was built in 1994 through the generosity of Tokyo Musashi Lions Club and the late Mr. Tatsuo Uchida, who provided funds for the construction of the building. This museum was a gift of the Tokyo Musashi Lions Club to the Filipino Nikkei community on their 30th anniversary. Some of the photos and displays here inside the museum were donated by the members of the Japan-Philippine Volunteers Association. In 2019, the Japanese government provided a grassroots grant for the renovation and enhancement of the museum. And on the same year, the Philippine Nikkei Jinkai Incorporated and the Philippine Nikkei Jinkai International School in Lanang also provided an extra funding for the interiors, displays, and exhibits. And these are the greetings in different languages. We have the Japanese, English, and Bagobo. So now let's proceed to the pre-arrival section. In 19th century, Davao was inhabited by different indigenous people. Some are from Luzon, Visayas, and other regions in Mindanao. These are the photos of the indigenous people who lived in Davao, such as Mansaka, Moro, Aita, Tapakeri, Muslims, and Bagobo. This is the ethnographic map of the indigenous people in Davao region. And these are the things that are used by the indigenous people before until now. This is the traditional stone grinder used for making rice flour. These are the jars they used for water storage. These are the spears that they use for hunting. And this is the traditional fish trap. They put it in the river and the fish will slide inside the trap. Inside the glass case are the calderos, or a big pot used for cooking together with the ladle used for mixing. These are the brass containers used for tobacco storage and snuffs or tobacco powder. The big bamboo or kawit was used to collect the collected coconut sap and placed on the back of mananggete. The small bamboo pasok was used to collect the coconut sap or a coconut water from the tree. Today, we use tumbler for water storage, but before, they used kawayan. This is the palayok. They use this for cooking. And for their source of light, they use lamp or what they call the petromax. Indigenous people also love music. This is the kulintang. It was once used for communicating long-distance messages from one village to another. It was also used for entertainment at weddings, festivals, and etc. This is the kudlong. And this is the flute. This is the gong. The gong was used for signaling when it's time to do something. These are the Bagobo women who captured the hearts of the Japanese. The Japanese used to work in the Philippines and they admired the beauty and fell in love with the Filipinos. So now, let's enter the arrival section. The main reason of the Japanese arrival in the Philippines is to escape from poor, miserable life and become richer. Suda Ryosuke, Otakizaburo, Oshiro Kozo and Furukawa Yoshizo were the Japanese merchants who established abaca plantations in our land and brought a lot of Japanese laborers to work in different plantations in Davao. And during this time, the Consulate General of Japan in Manila assigned Consul Miguro Shibazaki as the in charge of the Davao Japan Consulate in 1920, and he was promoted as the first consul from 1922 to 1924. Most of the Japanese laborers who came to work here were from mainland Japan and Okinawa. So now, we're moving on to the industrialization section. The Japanese became so famous because of the abaca. They worked so hard in the big land of Davao region and produced the Manila hemp or the abaca. Abaca became the major export with a ready market in the United States, Great Britain, and Japan. Because of the success of the abaca, the Japanese had transformed Davao into a strong economic zone and is now greater than the other regions. Japanese companies invested around 40 to 50 million and have given over 40,000 Filipinos a job. Davao before has a lot of big trees, and in order for them to plant abacas, they use this big saw to cut them. This is the hagutan machine used to mechanically process the abaca. Abaca was used to make ropes, nets, and coarse cloth for sacking. This is what they use for plowing soil to plant abacas. This is the packaging of the abacas for shipment. Due to its rapid progress of agricultural industry, Davao became the center of economic growth. That's why it was called the Little Tokyo. Here we have the famous establishments, Asahi Ken, where they made rice from wheat using a rice grinder machine, Osaka Bazaar, Kashiwabara Hotel, and Lucky Studio, which is one of the commercial establishments before. This is the camera that they use, and the background depends on the season. This is the Hashimoto Dental Clinic. Dr. Hashimoto used to work as a physician in Davao for 4 years, and then he transferred in Cebu, and then he stayed in Iloilo for good. He is also the son-in-law of Ota Kisaburo. Japanese values education, so they built 13 Japanese elementary schools in Davao. Japanese built shrine and temple in Bayabas Turil to exercise their faith. And these are the photos of the old Davao. At this point in time, let us now take a look on the Japanese household. These are the photos of the Japanese families, which consists of a Bagobo and Japanese. Because before, Japanese were attracted to Bagobo women, and so they tend to have intermarriage. These are some of the things that you can see inside a Japanese household. This is the ofuro. Ofuro is where the families bath together and talk about their day. It is an important part of every Japanese household. These are the dolls displayed during Girls' Day or Dolls Festival, or in Japanese, it is called hinaningyo. Although Japanese and Filipinos live abundantly before, but we cannot erase the part when there is war. These are the Japanese soldiers. And these are the things that they used before. Uniforms, water containers, medals, cap, helmets, and etc. These are the things that they use for the war: guns, samurai, and etc. They sign the flag because it gives them encouragement to fight. This is the letter of the Japanese to the Filipino. It says here that the Japanese came to free the Filipinos. They are not fighting for the Philippines, but for the America. The real enemies are the American. Filipinos must not hurt Japanese because they are their friends. But if a Filipino hurts Japanese, there will be a severe punishment. The Declaration of Surrender was delivered by Emperor Hirohito on August 15, 1945. He announced that the Japan would surrender and will end the World War II. The Emperor informed the Japanese people that Japan would accept the terms of the Potsdam Declaration. This is the escape map of the Japanese from Tamugan to Cagayan area. In the TV presentation, you can see the stories and testimonies of the children of the repatriated soldiers. After the Declaration of Surrender had delivered by Emperor Hirohito, the war was completely over. However, in 1945, the Japanese soldiers were sent back to Japan and they were not allowed to enter the Philippines because of two reasons. First, they were afraid that the war would start again, and second, they were afraid that Filipinos might hurt them. The Filipino-Japanese, or the families that were left behind by the repatriated soldiers, were so sad, heartbroken, and angry at the same time because the love and friendship that was built for how many years was shattered all of a sudden of a 3-year war. In 1962, 17 years later, the Crown Prince Akihito and Princess Michiko went to Manila for a 5-day state visit to settle. On 1966, the Japanese were allowed to re-enter the Philippines because of the agreement of the two governments. In 1968, the first batch of the repatriated Japanese went to Davao to visit their family and friends, but some of them couldn't find their families that were left behind because they changed their family names and some transferred to different places. But when the Nikkei Jeans heard about the return of the repatriated Japanese, they went to Davao to check if one on the repatriated Japanese is their father. In 1980, Reverend Keizo Miyamoto of the Church of the World Missionity and other civic-minded Davao-born Japanese helped the Nikkei Jeans lessen the pain that they felt when their repatriated fathers left. They encouraged and assisted them to form an association of their own. And then, the Philippine Nikkei Jinka Incorporated was born. Until it continues to grow, and then they established the Philippine Nikkei Jinka International School in 1992. The Philippine-Japan Historical Museum was built in 1994, and in 2007, the PNJK Kalinan was established. In 2009, through the donation of the Nippon Foundation, the PNJK Polyclinic and Diagnostic Center was also founded. On October 22, 2019, the President of the Federation of the Philippine Nikkei Jinkai all over the country, Mrs. Ines P. Malyari, was invited to represent the Filipino Nikkei community to the enthronement ceremony of Their Majesties, the Emperor and Empress of Japan at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo. These are the souvenirs from the enthronement of the Emperor and Empress of Japan. It was donated by Mrs. Ines P. Malyari. Last part of our museum is our library and our souvenir shop. Of IMIN, the Philippine-Japan Historical Museum would like to convey its sincerest gratitude to all the generous donors, sponsors, and individuals who extended immense help during the construction, renovation, the drafting of the content, implementing the ideas and concepts, procurement of materials and displays, as well as in sustaining the activities of the museum. So that's it! Those are the photos, informations, displays, and exhibits that you can find and see here inside this museum. So I hope that you have enjoyed and learned something from this video tour. God bless and keep safe everyone. Thank you for watching. どうもありがとうございます。